Welcome back to the F123 driver career here at Alfa Romeo. But will we be at Alfa Romeo for much longer? I mentioned it at the very end of the last episode, and I will mention it again now and put a vote in the comment section down below. We are at present in the last Grand Prix until the driver contracts are up for renewal. But there aren't really many teams we could consider going to based on my personal performances so far this year. At the moment, you see the driver standings there in front of you. I'm on 0 points. My best finish is a P13 twice. The only person I'm definitively better than is Logan Sargent. So my options really are I can stay at Alfa Romeo, where we anticipate hopefully being able to challenge for points in races moving forward. Or I can move to Williams mid-season and replace Logan Sargent, provided the driver career contract thing works as we anticipate that it does. I've not done it for a few years, I don't know. Or we could maybe consider moving to AlphaTauri in place of Daniel Ricciardo or Yuki. Yuki's only got one P10. Outside of that, his best finish is a P13, similar to mine. That one race where he got a point. Daniel's been more consistent. He's gotten 2 P11s and 2 P12s. So he's more consistently been closer to the points. But Yuki has been consistently around me, if not behind me. Equally, Nico Hülkenberg has been P10 once, but outside of that, we have 2 P13 finishes. He does not have anything any higher than 14th outside of that 1 point. So maybe we could consider going to Haas. So I think my options are, on the vote will be, stay at Alfa Romeo for the rest of this season, move to Haas, move to AlphaTauri, or move to Williams. Now, I can't guarantee which driver, if I move teams, it might replace with me if we move. So if you guys vote for Williams, it might knock Albon out rather than Sargent. Or at Haas, it might knock Magnussen out rather than Hülkenberg. Or it might knock Yuki out rather than Daniel Ricciardo. I don't know. This is the first time I've done something like this throughout 3 game cycles. You guys will know better than me. The live chat have said that they would prefer that I stay at Alfa Romeo. I haven't created the vote yet. I will do so throughout the course of the stream that I'm making this video in. So the vote may already be swayed quite significantly by those that have had their chance to vote early in the stream. But don't let that sway your decision. And if there are multiple teams that you wouldn't mind me moving to, then feel free to vote for multiple of the options. If you don't mind if I do anything, or you just want me to move, then you can vote for Haas, Williams, and AlphaTauri. Or if you don't mind anything, vote for all 4. But do have your vote, and I won't record any more career mode until we have a definitive answer on that vote. So do get your votes in quickly. In the last Grand Prix in Canada, we were able to finish in a joint PB P13 as Valtteri came home in the points for the second time this season in P10. Now in Austria, I hope to have much better luck. We obviously probably could have finished in the points ourselves in Canada if I hadn't ballsed up qualifying. Now, I hope not to balls up qualifying. I also hope to have a good sprint race so that in the main race, we can stand a chance of scoring points again. It's a sprint weekend, so knuckle in. We've got 95 racing laps of the Austrian circuit, plus qualifying and practice. So probably going to be a bumper length episode because the sprint race alone is 24 laps. So fingers crossed it's an entertaining one for you. Do drop the video a like if you're enjoying the content, of course. I'd appreciate it. Do subscribe to the channel with the notification bell ticked to make sure you don't miss out on any more of the content, whether that be this save, whether that be the Football Manager save with Cambridge United, whether that be the FC24 player career that continues to go up for you every single weekday. Feel free, if you want more FC content as well, to go and check out the main channel. Link in the description for the Chelsea save. And I record all of it live on Twitch, so there'll be a link down below for that as well. Right, all said and done, it's time to go racing. Although, it is going to be mixed conditions in the sprint, thankfully. The whole race is dry, as is quali. So, we're getting lucky there. I'm going to go practice, and then it's qualifying time. Right, we've done practice 1. We got most of the resource points available there, so we won't have to do too much quick practicing in practice 2. The practice program with significantly worn parts in the car said that I would qualify 17th. I'd like to think that in actual qualifying with proper, not 60% worn parts, we will be able to qualify at least into Q2. But I do run a slightly higher downforce setting at most tracks, so we'll wait and see if actually I'm able to get myself into Q3 again, but I'm not sure at the moment. I'm going to accelerate time and see what sort of times I need to find in Q1, and then we'll go and settle at and see whereabouts we end up after the first run. And going to find about half a second or so on this second run. Is that going to be enough to see us through to the next part of qualifying? A 105.3 puts me P8 for now, but everybody else is on their flying lap right now. So we will see that time undoubtedly, or that position undoubtedly change, but how many will go in front of me? I need to be P15 or higher. At the minute, I'm still P8. I'm now P9 as the Aston Martin of Alonso goes faster than me. Here comes Lance Stroll across the line with the other Aston Martin. He's behind, as is one of the Alpines. My teammate goes P11. I think we're safe. I think we're through. Pretty sure we're through. P9 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars to go. We are through to Q2. Thankfully, with just the one set of tyres, although I did have to do 2 runs on them after a poor first run. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'd expect then, with a handful not running a second time, and with track ramping up, times ramping up, I'd expect to maybe qualify about P13 or 14 after Q2. But then, of course, there's the sprint race, which will determine our actual position for the full Grand Prix, because it's still 2022's rule set in this game. I think I'm going to have to be in the 104s to stand a chance of getting through. And 104.8 might see me through to Q3. Which it does! In 5th! Wow. I get the feeling some were perhaps trying to get through by saving a set of tyres, but those some might include Fernando Alonso, who is eliminated from qualifying in Q2. Frustratingly, of course, there is a sprint race, so I can always go backwards from qualifying into the sprint race and then through the sprint race for the main race, but we are faster than Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz, and both McLarens in that session. Such a bad lap. It's a really bad lap. There's a 5-1, that's going to be P10 without any question. Alright, somehow, someone's not putting a better lap than that. That was scrappy from me. A 4.8 in Q2 would have seen me P9 anyway, and I don't think I had a 4.5 in the locker, so I'm not starting the sprint race from any further back than I imagined that I would be, given who was in that session. Both Ferraris 1 and 2. The top 4 split by less than a tenth. What a qualifying session that was. And then it's Lewis and Oscar within half a tenth of each other-ish. And then Lando and Checo within within a hundredth of a second each. And then me and Pierre within a tenth of each other as well. Then my lap was poor, but I imagine so was Pierre's. Well, sprint race first, 24 laps. The capability to get in the top 8 would earn me my first points of the season. Will we get points this weekend? And will they come in the sprint race? Banging. Everything passed. Everything's fine. So we will start the race in P9. Rephrase. We will start the sprint from P9. Where we start the actual race from remains to be seen. Now, it's probably mediums from start to finish and maintain pace. Although some may well choose to go on the softs. In fact, I think maybe the majority will go on softs for the sprint. Although it's interchangeable conditions and we still don't know. Yes, so look, it's going to rain towards the end of the sprint. But will that rain come soon enough that we need to change tyres? I don't know. I'll be tempted to go on the softs then. I hope that the rain comes. Wait and see what everyone else does first. This is going to be intriguing, isn't it? 1,400 resource points available to spend. But we were going to wait for the... we were going to wait for something. I can't remember what it was. I was going to wait for drag reduction, I think it was. The gurney flap. Yeah, not going to do anything else for now. We'll save those resource points and we'll go to the sprint race. 24 laps coming up. Now, crucially, I'm on the outside here. So that could really help. 0.2 metres, bang. I'm on the outside, so this could, provided I can get a good launch, this could be a really good position to try and sweep around the outside at turn 1, where some maybe get pinched on the inside and make a position or two. Alternatively, I could get a terrible launch and tumble, which is equally a possibility. Lewis hasn't had a great start, neither has the car in front of Lewis, which is his teammate George. Checo's pushed me a long way wide there. Everybody's bumping over. I'm actually going to switch behind Checo now. We'll have to use some battery here to stick with, but we're going 2 by 2 by 2 into the next turn. And then really slow again. Fernando Alonso's having a look at me. We'll probably get better traction on the racing line out wide, which he has done, down to P10. But let's be honest, we're not really thinking about points in the sprint. What we want to do is be in a great position to try and get points in the main Grand Prix by having still a strong sprint finish. So if I can finish the sprint in the top 10, I won't get points because it's only top 8 in the sprint, but I'll be in a brilliant position to try and get points in the main Grand Prix. And that is the ultimate aim, really. I don't think we'll stand any chance of getting points here today in the sprint race. But on Sunday, definitely there's something up for grabs. Fernando's not quite in DRS range of Sergio Perez in front, actually, so he might not have DRS down this next straight, and I will. And the gap is still more than DRS behind. So at the minute, we're looking, as they continue to battle, the two Alpines and my teammate. Actually, it's Ocon and Bottas that battle. Gasly is just in no man's land at the minute. And whilst we can hopefully keep DRS on Fernando Alonso, we'll try and build the gap on Gasly behind. At the minute, we're looking strong for a top 10 finish in the sprint. 3 wide in front at the very top of the hill. At the moment, the gap to those in front is growing. The gap to Fernando is stable. And the gap to Pierre Gasly is about the same. Yes, that confirms our fears that Valtteri does have damage because he's now in the pits. So any chance Valtteri had of getting back-to-back points finishes is probably well and truly gone because he'll be starting the main Grand Prix from the back. And I don't see him recovering all the way to the points from there. Even if this Alfa Romeo is faster than it was at the beginning of the season, it's still not that fast. Lewis and Checo going hard at it in front, and they're going to give Fernando Alonso DRS now. Now, I don't mind everyone in front of me battling, provided it means we can still maintain the gap back to Pierre Gasly.
Gap to your teammate behind is 36.0 seconds.
Bloody hell, Valtteri. I just want to make sure that we stay ahead of Pierre comfortably enough so that this is where we finish. It's now basically a case of whose tyres last the longest, who can drive the cleanest and make fewest mistakes. Hopefully, that will be us. Fernando having DRS is definitely not helping. Checo, Lewis battling hard is now brought them straight back to Alonso, but now it's going to become a 3-way fight in front. We'll hopefully at some point make it a 4-way fight, but it's just going to allow Pierre Gasly to close back up. So at the minute, our strong P10 at least is turning into a probable P11 at least. But we'll wait and see how things pan out in the next few laps. Because either this is going to get chaotic in front, or this will just be it till the end. They'll keep swapping positions, but they'll all be fast enough to stay ahead of me. Checo's making the move for Lewis into turn 1, though. And it's closed us right back up. Already, Gasly is closed by half a second. Already. Checo's in trouble here with no DRS as well. I'm going to brake early, because there's multiple cars in front that we could maybe run into the back of. And Gasly's very nearly in DRS range now as well, and surely will be by the time we get round to the start-finish straight again. On lap 8 of 24, we're nearly a third of the way through the race, and this is getting spicy now. Lewis is pulling away from Checo. I wonder if Checo has some damage. Did look like he was slow to turn in there. I think Sergio Perez has damage here. Yeah, he's definitely got damage. He's so slow around the corners. He may even pit. No pit stop for Checo, but he is walking wounded right now. Fernando will have him into turn 1, I'm sure, and then maybe we can get him into turn 3. Although he's gone very defensive, we might be able to sweep through against the two of them. Contacts between the two of them at the very least. Now here comes Pierre Gasly against his former teammate. No, it was Ocon that was at Alpine. Not Gasly, my bad. Oh, a lock-up from Perez. I just can't get on the power quickly enough. I'm going to try and run the outside at 4. Because I'm expecting him to be poor around the apex with less downforce. And we have made the position. We are running in the points in the sprint. We can gap. Oh, I'm so close to being able to get Checo out of DRS range, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. We're able to do it. Gap to Checo, more than a second now. And tell me about that weather. Still no threat of rain. Oh, Valtteri's retiring. Brilliant. He's either spun or he's retiring, but there's a yellow flag around there. No, he just spun. He's on the move again. Oh, Valtteri. It has been a nightmare for you today. Yeah, round he goes. On brand new soft tyres, he's binned it. Running P20 and half a minute or more behind anyone else. He's spun on his own. Now, Lewis and Piastri are starting to fight in front as well. If they lose each other time, then that could be good for us, although I envisage Lewis just storming past and not really having too much of an issue. That said, he didn't get the job done into turn 1. It's Red Bull, Ferrari that are very close to one another, and then it's McLaren, Mercedes. Alonso still ahead of Perez behind. We're approaching the halfway mark of the race. And at the minute, that strong P10 that turned into a probable P11 is now maybe looking like a potential P8. If I finish P9 in the sprint and P11 in the main Grand Prix, I'm going to be absolutely devastated. Fernando's surely going to go for it into turn 1. And have a look. Got a bit of exit though. He's got DRS again, however. I'm going to stick to the inside here and try and force him all the way around, but he might get the job done before we even reach the braking point, which he has. But by doing so, I'm now in DRS range of him instead, and I'll have DRS here. So now my aim is to try and stay in DRS range of Fernando until a couple of laps from the end, save battery, and then go for it. And try and defend with battery at the end of the race. Gasly and Ocon now both past Sergio Perez as well, so I'm wondering whether that gap to Gasly will close between now and the end. Almost certainly, you imagine. My rear tyres are going to be at 25% by the end of lap 18 for sure. And we're going to have still 6 laps to go. Got to stay within DRS of Fernando. And my rear tyres are going faster than theirs are, so he's able to maintain the gap. DRS is gone. Look at the way the gap opens up in the traction zone. 2.5 to 3 tenths just in the traction zone. I can maintain the gap to Gasly. But the gap to Fernando is now only going to grow.
Yellow flag.
Yellow flag around the corner. Is it Fernando or Piastri? Oscar Piastri's retiring. There may be a point in this sprint race for us yet. There is Oscar Piastri pulling off the track. That's P8. That, in 3 laps' time, if I can keep Pierre Gasly behind me, is going to be a World Championship point. Oh, Oscar, I do love you. Lando Norris, I've just noticed, has overtaken both Ferrari. It was McLaren, Mercedes, McLaren, Mercedes. Well, Lando has seen off George Russell. And then not only that, gone and chased down and overtaken both Ferrari. But to be fair, they've been next to each other for the majority of the race and will surely have been battling a little bit, costing each other time, because look at the gap to Max. Nearly the entirety of that first long straight away from P2. We are currently, with 1 lap to go in this sprint race, 7/10 of a second ahead of Pierre Gasly. My first World Championship point is potentially a lap away. As Lewis and George battle hard for P5, I need to try and keep Pierre behind. If I can do that down this straight, which is going to be his last DRS opportunity, we should be good. Max Verstappen wins the sprint race by a long way. But do Alfa Romeo have 2 point scoring team members? 2 point scoring drivers. Gap to Gasly, 4/10. I think the answer is going to be yes. The answer now definitively is yes. My first World Championship point comes in the sprint race at Austria. 1 World Championship point. A 100% improvement in my points tally. Let's go. And P8 for the main Grand Prix as well is a great position to start from as well. We've actually gone forwards in the main Grand Prix, although it did take Oscar Piastri retiring for that to happen. But still, GG. Right, what we're going to do strategically then for the main Grand Prix. An error occurs, saving the highlights reel. I don't care. I've got my point.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg.
Hello, welcome to Spielberg. Now, in theory, the grid should look exactly the same as how the sprint race finished, right? Unless others have taken penalties. I imagine Oscar Piastri would take a penalty for whatever blew up in his car. I think he'll have to take a penalty for whatever blew up in his car. Leclerc and Sainz, 3rd and 4th. Russell and Hamilton, 5th and 6th. Alonso and me in P8. Gasly and Ocon. Bottas will be P19 then. Now we know that Perez will come through us. We're almost certain of that now that he won't have any damage. So whether we're able to turn P8 into more points, I don't know. Actually, Bottas managed to recover to P17. Piastri at the back though. He will undoubtedly, over the course of 71 laps, have the opportunity to overtake me as well. I reckon, so with my tyre life, I could go soft, medium, soft, and get to the end of the race. I would rather put the mediums on in the middle, and then put the softs on at the end and do 20, 31, 20. That already is significantly quicker. And we could run a 3-stop rather than a 2-stop if I'm tempted to go medium. I'm tempted to go medium, soft, soft, you know. Lots of soft runners, a couple of hards. Daniel and Pierre Gasly whacking on the hard tyre. Intriguing. We'll go soft, medium, soft then, with a view to maybe switching and going soft, medium, small, hard stint, softs at the very end when the car's at its lightest. But we'll play it by ear. We know that the medium tyres were at 25% by about 20 laps. So to take them, to be honest, they were pretty dead. They were very much dead by 24 laps. So in the sprint race, and it wants me to take them 31 laps in this middle stint. So actually, I don't think a 2-stop's going to be a thing, thinking about it. So we'll probably go soft, medium, hard, soft. Or maybe soft, hard, see how far they go to maybe save a pit stop, medium or soft at the end. So let me adjust that. That we'll go soft, hard, medium, and then maybe soft at the end. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see how things develop throughout the course of the Grand Prix as to what turns out to be the best possible scenario for us. If I change that medium one a little bit later, do we gain... Not that one a little bit later. Do we gain some more? Not much. 14, 20, 20, 17 is probably something decent. Maybe I go 15, 20, 20, 16. I'll do that. 15, 20, 20, 16. That is our plan then. All done on the fly in the moment. A little bit of waffling, but strategy decided. Race plan on the nose. Can we get points again? So in the sprint, we started on the left-hand side, which is the racing line. We got an okay start, but didn't really make any gains into or out of turn 1. I wonder if starting on the inside this time means that we might be able to. I'm hoping Pierre Gasly can act as a little bit of a rear buffer to us, but I think Ocon might jump him at the start. Gasly's going to have probably a poor start on those hard tyres. I've had a good start. Alonso's nipped in, and now I'm back on the outside of the track again. But we've gone around the outside of Fernando. And I'm trying to get ahead of Lewis, but I'm going to use a lot of battery to do so. And there's not really much point fighting this. My ultimate fight is not with him today anyway, is it? Oh, he's squeezing me out there. Jesus Christ, Lewis. That was not very kind. Floor damage. Thank you, Lewis. Lewis turns into me and gives me floor damage. Let's have a look and see how much contact was made there. Did I nip in, or did he just understeer into me? I don't know. He understeered into me. Barely much of a touch there at all. But he's gone over the... See how the car in front of the Ferrari, Carlos Sainz, doesn't touch the yellow curb at all. Lewis clatters over the very corner of it, bounces his car wide, understeers, and just catches my floor. So we will now have floor damage for the rest of the race. Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate that. Well, the battle just got harder. I got squeezed out a couple of times on that opening lap, didn't I? Lewis will have DRS down the next straight now. There's going to be nothing I can do here. But ultimately, I'm not fighting Lewis. We know our car isn't as fast as that Mercedes. Try and stay in DRS range of Lewis for as long as I can, but it may only be this first section. Sergio Perez is on the march. He's up to P9 and right behind Fernando Alonso now, and going for that position. Need to be careful they don't run into the back of me, really. 8% wear on the rears. By the time we get to lap 15, they are going to be pretty dead. Just want to stay in DRS range of Lewis. Perez has taken Alonso behind. Sergio's on a charge. Are they 2 wide or 3 wide up top? I can't quite see. 2, I think. And they all tucked in. There's actually 4 cars just in a row there. We'll go and follow the leader as Charles Leclerc just disappears in P1. Look, wow. Yeah, look at them. They're battling so hard up into the 3rd corner. Costing each other so much time. Loads of time. Over a second we've gained on that group in front. Here comes Checo. I'm not losing time on Lewis. I'm able to maintain the gap to Lewis. But Sergio is just faster than the 2 of us put together. Checo's got some real pace in that Red Bull. He's going to be making moves. Trying to get within a second of Checo again. I'm using a lot of battery to do it. And because of his DRS on Lewis, we actually haven't. Not quite before the detection point, anyway. Checo making a move on Hamilton. Able to maintain the gap to Alonso at the minute. I've used a lot of battery in that part of the race, so thank you for the 50 bits, Callum. Blue and red car fast indeed. Cats, yeah. Blue and red car very fast. Tyres at 16 and 15% now. Fernando's going to make the move.
Okay, focus. We need to stay on form.
It's fine. I'll stick with Fernando. and we'll hopefully close back up on Lewis. Although Checo is probably going to help
Okay, mate, don't worry
Lewis
about the
disappear a
damage.
little
I've got
bit.
some new strategy options if you go and check your MFD.
Oh. Wants me to go soft again on lap 18. And then mediums again after that. He reckons I can two-stop. Soft, soft, medium. No, I'm going to stick to what we've got at the minute. Still think a three-stop is the way forward. Fresh tyres are very strong on this year's game. It is the meta. It's a big group behind. Stroll, Ocon, Albon, Gasly, one of the Hasses, Piastri, and then Bottas trying desperately to close them up. There is a Haas that's a long way behind. I don't know if anyone's pit yet, I don't think. No, they have. Oh, no, that's incidents. I don't know if anyone's pit yet, though. No pit stops yet. One of the Hasses is really struggling, though, so I imagine he's got damage if he's that far behind. So there were no yellow flags for a spin or anything. I think he's just knackered. We might see a couple of front wing changes at the first round of pit stops. The minute we're still planning on pitting about lap 15-ish for another set of new boots. But it will be hards that we put on, not another set of softs, as the team were advising. Once you get yourself back within DRS range, let's not make silly mistakes. Ocon past Stroll behind, Alpine past Aston Martin. We'll come out last if I pit. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It would be on the hard tyre. But our hard tyre, brand new hard tyre, may well be faster. Some of the worn soft runners. I might try, whilst I'm still in DRS of Alonso, to extend this stint a little bit. Burned a lot of battery there, but we've got DRS back, and then fucked the exit, so threw it all away again. Okay, Gasly's starting to make his way through now. I wonder whether the hard tyres are starting to come into their own after 12 laps. I'll be tempted to pit now, you know. Or 13 at the very least. Let's go onto those hard tyres. Now I'm out of DRS range of Fernando. I might just take the lead. And then just extend the hard tyres. There's no point going through the drop-off. It's pointless going through the 25% drop-off if I can avoid it with a pit stop. So I'm going to. Especially as Gasly seems to be showing some good pace on those hards now. We're going to box this lap on lap 12 and extend the hard stint slightly. We'll extend the hard stint. We may well extend the medium stint, knowing that we can probably get about 15 laps out of the softs at the end because of the car being lighter at the end of the race. So we want to take a hard set and a medium set to lap 56. So if I can do 23 on these and then 20 on the mediums, then we can still do 15 on the softs. So I'm going to take these to 36. These to 36 is the current plan. Not expecting anyone in yet. Still too soon even for the three-stoppers. I'll ask about Sargent. I presume he's three-stopping as well. Imagine everyone that started on the softs is three-stopping. That's what would make sense. Unless they've been able to get them as far as it reckons. Yet there you go, two-stop. So those on a two-stop will probably soft, soft, medium, which is what my team were trying to get me to switch to towards the end of that soft stint, but it was not what I was willing to do. And we're gaining hand over fist over everybody in front at the minute. So our tyres are definitely the best tyres to be on right now. But I'm not expecting anyone else in the pits for at least another couple of laps. Even the three-stoppers. Okay, Sargent went to go for a move on Tsunoda. Well, rephrase. Tsunoda went defensive because he thought Sargent was going to come for him. Sargent went to go around the outside of Tsunoda, then realised I was coming, and he went defensive on me as well. But it hasn't worked for either driver. And we are past and up into 17th. And the march continues. Nico Hülkenberg next. Fernando Alonso's in the pits. Alonso on a three-stop. Pits now off his soft tyres. Curious to know what he goes to next. I'm imagining another set of softs. I think he'll be soft, soft, medium, hard, or soft, soft, hard, medium, maybe. He might go to hards. I'd be surprised if he does. He has gone to another set of softs. So Fernando Alonso is going to be very quick at this part of the race. But we're going to be significantly faster at the end, and he's going to come out right here with us. And I'm going to have DRS on them both, and I'm going to try and take both drivers into turn 3 here, which is exactly what we're going to do. Give me space, Nico Hulkenberg.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 4.6 seconds.
So the undercut on Fernando has worked for the time being, but he's now on soft tyres. We're going to go to mediums on lap 36 is the current plan. Oscar Piastri in the pits, Pierre Gasly in the pits. Gasly was the one that started on hard tyres, so he's only taken them 18 laps, which is intriguing. We're looking to take ours 23, but of course our car is going to be significantly lighter now than Gasly's would have been at the start of the race. Alonso on his softs, he's going to have pace. Again, we hope with DRS we can stick with him, but it's not necessarily about trying to make the overtake at the minute. It's about losing as little time as possible in the grand scheme of the race. So if we work with Alonso here, we can both make time. Alonso was slow around that apex. I wonder if he's got any damage.
Their tyres are just 1 lap old.
He's slow.
Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. The car ahead has
yep, there you go.
Damage, but it's not losing too much pace yet. Just be aware.
We could tell. We could absolutely tell. With DRS, he was able to keep up with this, but and make the overtake. But I tell you what, he's slow. We're going to be swapping positions with Alonso quite a bit in this stint. We're past Ricciardo now, as he's now pit, but if Fernando's going to be slow around the corners, I'm going to try and make the most of it down the straights. If I use my battery correctly, I'll force Fernando offline here, so I can duck back. Then have the DRS. It'll put the squeeze on, but it's not going to work. Now if I can pull away again through the middle sector, where we know he's slow now with his front wing damage, we should be able to just continue to make strides on those in front of us.
6.6 seconds.
I was really poor through there. I was really poor through there. Bottas in the pits.
Valtteri's in the pits.
Mercedes in the pits. McLaren in the pits. They're all in the pits. Everybody in front of us in the pits. These are the 2 stoppers. So we are effectively now all... No, not yet. Not yet. After the next round of pit stops, we will all be having 1 stop left to make. They've all gone to softs again. Might be a case of I take Alonso down these DRS straights. This first DRS straight. And pull away in the middle sector. Then he gets me back. And then I get him back. So I lead through the middle sector because he's slow. And he leads through the through these straights. Again, we'll try a switchback, which will work wonderfully. Because that battery, he'll put the squeeze on, and again it won't work, and I'll lead through the middle sector, which is exactly what we want. Working with Fernando Alonso here for us both to get a great race time and finish as high as possible. There aren't many that are also on a 3-stop. So me and Fernando are probably going to finish close to each other come the end of the race. But Fernando's going to need to defend from Pierre Gasly soon, which is probably going to ruin his race if he has to battle too long with him.
Push.
I am pushing. I nearly put it in a wall, mate. They are battling. Gasly's going to get him into turn 1, but they're now well over a second behind me again. So I've got a little bit of breathing room now. And we're back up into P8. And on continually for maybe some more World Championship points. Alonso and Gasly just battling hard. So this is really earning us a little bit of respite. 2-second gap behind now is massive, especially when Alonso's really slow through this middle sector. Gasly doesn't know that yet. He's still figuring out where's best to get past Alonso without knowing. He's just going to slow him up like hell through the middle sector. Gasly's passed. But if Fernando has DRS, then he's going to fight back. And he does have DRS, and he is fighting back. Yes, battle. Use all of those soft tyres battling each other and not chasing me. Thank you. Come out 17th at the moment. when we pit off these hards. But all those that are on a 2-stop that have gone soft will probably still pit before we pit for our medium set. So they'll fall even further behind, and we'll be able to not come out quite as low as 17th, I hope. The pit stops shouldn't be too dissimilar in when they come either, actually. Gasly's passed again, but Fernando's going to have DRS and fight it back. Right now, we are sitting pretty in the points in our Alfa Romeo for the first time in a full race. Our first World Championship singular point in the sprint. Are we going to get more today? At the minute, it looks likely.
By 3.6 seconds.
Bottas on the recharge. Bottas up to P11 from P17. Valtteri's on a mission. Go on, lad.
Okay, clear.
Yellow flag. I think people are just going slowly behind. There's a massive... Bottas is P9. Valtteri. Where's he come from? Could it be double Alfa Romeo points today? Where's he come from?
Okay, gap ahead is 11.
He started 17th. Now he's P9. On outright pace. Valtteri's a god. Who knew? Alonso and Gasly are tumbled. It's now Bottas and Piastri that are the two behind. Tyres are still absolutely fine at 16%. We are just chunking through the laps. We're going to stop in 7 laps time. Feels like forever since we've... Doesn't feel like 5 minutes since we put these tyres on, but it was actually 17 laps ago. So comfortable is the car to drive right now. So good does it feel that the laps are just falling away and the position becomes stronger and stronger. We'll now come out still 17th as it stands when we pit, but we do expect some of those soft runners behind to pit again before I do. It's just a case of whether their undercut gets them enough time on me. I am anticipating having to make some overtakes in the final stint on the softs, but hopefully we will have the pace and tyre life to be able to do it. No sign of any VSCs or safety cars or anything so far either, which is good news for us, because that would kind of ruin our 3-stop strategy if there is an extra stoppage. So very happy with how the race is transpiring right now. I feel good for points. Bottas has a damaged front wing as well, but somehow has still been able to make it through all of the traffic. And then pull from Piastri. How has he done that, Valtteri? This car is not a rocket ship, can confirm. It's not bad, but it's not a rocket ship. Although I am also dealing with some floor damage. Made a couple of mistakes on that last lap. Trying to take in where everybody is, what the situation in the race is like. And Valtteri's closed in by about 9/10 to a second there. We're stopping in 6 laps time for a set of medium tyres.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 19.9 seconds.
Yeah, not worried about anybody in front, let's be honest. Not unless there's a late safety car, anyway. Just hitting 25% on the rears as we're pitting on this lap, which is just the most perfect timing. This 3-stop, with the slight tweak we've made to it mid-race, is going to work out, hopefully, magically for us. I repeat, boxing this lap, please. Valtteri's continuing on, that's good. Means he's not going to attempt to double stack. And we're in for a set of softs. Someone's in front of us. Piastri's in behind us, intriguingly. Oscar pitting, presumably for the final time. He's going on to mediums. We are doing the same. I'm going to ask about Piastri and find out whether he's going to the end on those or he's stopping again. I think Piastri's probably going to try and go to the end on those. Yep. Piastri's going to the end on those mediums. So some drivers have 1 stop left. Some drivers have no stops left. This is our race now. This is probably about where we'll come out when we stop for softs, and we'll have a lot of overtaking to do. But we should have the tyres to be able to make it. Back with Fernando Alonso again, intriguingly. Sargent pitting. No, he's just going defensive. Oh my lord, my friend. Get out of the way.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
Can't afford to lose any time. DRS on Fernando as well. This race seems to be falling apart right now, Fernando Alonso. He's a long way back. Does he have any damage?
Alonso's ahead of you.
He's tumbled.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 1.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres. We think they've
stopped
got
again.
Stop. Your last lap time was 1
Okay,
minute,
so Alonso stopped again. And it's gone soft, soft, soft. That's his 3 stop. Soft, soft, soft. 3 in the pits. Albon, Gasly, and Ricciardo. Piastri's going to be interested now. It's actually a lapped Haas we're coming up on now. If I can follow Piastri through in that McLaren, which is going to have more pace than anyone around us. That would probably be really good. Oh, I thought for a minute I was getting lapped. I was like, what do you mean, blue flag? To be fair, I probably am about to get lapped. That's Max and one of the Ferrari behind me. Oh my god, that caught me completely off guard. Hopefully they're pitting soon, because I don't want to lose time letting someone through that I don't really want to. Come on then, Oscar. Let's go and make some moves together. Let's wingman each other. Piastri's not going to drag me to a much higher... Well, he's not going to drag me to any position higher than where we were pre-pit stop. Because we were so far behind the Mercedes, and we're never going to catch 2 Red Bull, 2 Ferrari, 2 Mercedes, 2 McLaren. But P8 or P9 would be a fantastic result for us as a team, if we can get it. Nando, I cannot afford to lose Oscar Piastri here, please. Do not hold me up too much. I'm going to go for Alonso. Oh god, the car just didn't stop. Okay, so well, the attempt for Alonso didn't work. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Stop, 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 stop. It did. Go, 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 go. I've got the inside line. Oh, fighting hard with Fernando. That's us back in the points.
Okay, gaps of the car ahead.
That's P10.
1.5 seconds.
Whew. That was a proper lunge at turn 4, but we made it stick. Don't think I'm going to be able to catch Piastri. Not now.
Green flag.
There's a Ferrari going slowly behind me. There's a Ferrari out. As Alonso and Bottas go head to head, Charles Leclerc retires.
On Leclerc. Okay, they're out of this race.
The Ferrari retires with a mechanical failure. That's going to be another position for us. A real chance of good points now for both me and Valtteri Bottas. We might have both Alfa Romeo in the points for the first time this season. Don't hold me up, Valtteri. We're on different strategies, mate. Don't hold yourself up either. We want points with both cars today, please. Well, it's not really held either of us up too much, that. It's not as smooth an overtake as it would have been in real life, because you'd have been able to give team orders and Valtteri probably would have let me go into the braking zone rather than around the apex, but we got the move done at minimal cost, and we're back into P8, which is where we hope now to finish the Grand Prix. Piastri having worked his way back from behind us. Gasly started P20 and he's now in the points and in P7. And his position isn't going to change for the rest of the race, I don't think. Myself, Bottas and Alonso all have another stop to make. So between us, we're all going to try and, with overtaking on others that are 2-stopping over ourselves 3-stopping, we're going to try and get back to where we are. That's the ultimate aim. We want to finish 8th and 9th as a team, myself and Valtteri today. Both he and Alonso both have front wing damage, which is not great, but hopefully between them they can stay ahead of the chasing Alpine and Alex Albon. We'll be stopping in 7 laps time for a set of softs. It's not a great track, Coom, you know. It's a fun track though. It still throws up quite a few different challenges. It's normally good for some drama. Okay, Alonso and Bottas have pit from behind us now. And they're going to mediums, I imagine. So they will undercut me for the first 3 laps of their stint. But then I'll be on soft tyres with an aim of catching them and overtaking them again if they are able to undercut me by as much as they need to.
1:07.8.
We will definitely need to overtake Ocon and Albon. Yellow flag behind. Maybe not Albon. He's retiring. He's going slowly. Lewis is in the pits and has gone to hards. I think Albon's out. He's not retired yet. No, he has now. He's pulled off to the side of the track. Albon's out. So it's Ricciardo and Ocon now that are chasing, as well as Gasly as well. Have a look at the minimap. See where Bottas is. Bottas is now behind Lewis Hamilton. No, not behind George Russell and Lando Norris and Max Verstappen or Sergio Perez. So that's probably about where we're going to come out. If we can avoid losing any time getting lapped by other cars, then that would be perfect. We can come out in front of Bottas but behind the leaders so that we can just run in clean air for the full entirety of the rest of the race, then we'll be absolutely stonewaller for a P8 finish. And if there are any more DNFs to come, hopefully they'll come from in front of us and we'll just make even more positions. But I'm massively confident of being able to catch and overtake everybody up until maybe Ocon. Then Ocon is probably going to be a bit of a struggle if the tyres don't last, because he's closing on me now. We'll obviously close on him, but will it be by enough? Will it be quick enough before our tyres go off right at the very end of the race? But we are going to get lapped, so we're only going to be doing 70 laps, not 71. So I could consider boxing now. In fact, I probably should box now if there's 1 lap less to try and make the comeback. And if that gap to Esteban Ocon is only going to grow between now and then. Or sorry, shrink between now and then. Now on that stop. And you can see in the traction zones he's gaining 1.5 to 2 tenths on me. It's quite significant. I'm going to box. Going to box now. Lap 55. We're going to come in for soft tyres. We're going to take them 15 laps. Take them to lap 70. And finish the race a lap down. But crucially, in the points we hope. Here we go then. Soft tyres. Anticipating coming out where the Aston Martins are, maybe. I'd like to come out behind the Mercedes. Behind George would be great.
Okay, off we go. Back into the race. That was a fantastic stop.
I'm definitely coming out. I'm definitely going to come out in front of the Aston Martins.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end.
Stroll's out. Stroll. I think he's had an accident trying to let lapped cars through. Has he, or is he just pulled off? He's just pulled off. So is he already going slowly? No, he gets the knock from the Red Bull and then just pulls off the track. I don't know whether that is a bug or whether Lance was actually going to retire anyway. I've got blue flags here, but position ceded without losing any time, and now I'll have DRS off Max Verstappen. Alonso's gone to hards. Alonso has gone soft, 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 hard. We've come out in P11. I have Gasly, Ricciardo and Ocon to catch. And I may well be able to unlap myself from Max Verstappen, to be honest. We might be faster than the front-running cars. More green flags behind. I think Alonso's just binned it. Either Alonso's retiring as well, or he's binned it and other cars have gotten stuck coming up towards him. I think he's going to spin here, Alonso. He does. And the others have come around the track. The McLaren has driven into him. Lando's lost part of his front wing. The Mercedes is just about to do the same. We may end up with a safety car here. We do indeed. Safety car. Oh, and I'm right behind Max.
I've got some information on Alonso. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Alonso's out. The Mercedes hit him. I don't know whether this is good for us or bad for us, to be honest. Probably good. Probably good. It's probably good for us. Can I overtake Max?
Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low.
No.
Risk a penalty.
Oh, man.
Pace
If I just managed to unlap myself before we got to the bloody safety car, I'm not going to finish any higher than 11th. It's really bad for me. All ahead will be able to go round and join the back of the queue, and I'm going to be stuck behind Max Verstappen, meaning I will finish... Oh my God, can you believe it? It's going to happen again. My bad luck in races is going to happen again, and I am going to end up finishing P11. You can't script it at this point. If I'd have been ahead of Verstappen, I may well have been able to get myself, who knows, on the podium? But being behind Verstappen when the safety car came out means that everybody in front of me will be effectively a full lap ahead of me, and I will finish P11. Thank the Lord for that 1 point in the sprint race, otherwise it would genuinely have happened again, and my luck is cursed. What would the penalty be, Jordan? But that's unrealistic, though. But what is also unrealistic is me not being able to unlap myself. So do I unlap myself, take the 5 second... Well, I'll see what the penalty is. What is the... Oh, bugger, I'm out. What is the penalty for an illegal overtake? Is it just 5 seconds? If it's 5 seconds, it's a drive-through, is it? Ah! Oh! I could unlap myself, get as far as possible around the track, and then take the drive-through and try and recover. Because I'm still going to be in P11. To be fair, it is worth the shot, isn't it? It's worth the shot. I'm going to take the drive-through penalty for doing an illegal overtake, dive up the inside of the safety car.
Give that position back, mate. We're under safety car conditions and you can't overtake. Return the position.
It's just a 5 second penalty. It's just a 5 second penalty, not a drive-through.
10 car lengths of the next car.
Gentlemen, points are on the card. Absolutely worth it. We're taking it into our own hands. I've had so much bad luck with engine failures within 5 to 10 laps from the end when I've been right on the brink of points. And the game should let lapped cars overtake, and it doesn't. So, bollocks to the game. I'm going to have myself a good finish here because I deserve it for my luck this year. I'm going to get a good finish. Going to have to nail these soft tyres to try and get round to the safety car. Should have had points at Monaco. Should have had points at Canada. Should have had points in Spain. No, not... Canada's my fault for qualifying poorly. But should have had points in Monaco and should have had points in Spain. So for my bad luck and the fact that the game isn't coded properly to allow lapped cars to overtake, I'm taking one for myself. Rather than taking one for the team, I'm taking one for myself. Valtteri Bottas, unfortunately, will finish P12 at best, so there will be no double Alfa Romeo points, but there should be points for me. Now they're just waiting for me to catch up, so the safety car should come in at the end of this lap, regardless of whether I catch them or not. It's just a case of can I catch them? And then it's a case of how many positions can I make? Safety car in this lap. Are you ready for the chaos? There are 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are only 5 cars that are lapped at the minute because there's been 4 DNFs. But those lap cars will get out of the way. Chaos will ensue. We'll hopefully get through it unscathed and then make some positions. I'll no doubt lose a couple of positions at the end of the race because of the 5-second penalty, but it's going to be worth it. People at Hulkenberg, etc. should pull to the right here. It's going to be chaos at the first turn. Absolute chaos. There it is. And we're off. For 10 laps on soft tyres against the rest of the field, trying to make as many points and overtakes as possible. Round the outside of those two. Nico, can we come through, please? Thank you. Hamilton's got a 5-second penalty. I'm not sure what for. Nico's going to let me through. We're P9. It's Yuki in front. He's going to let me through. What's Lewis's penalty for? Lewis got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags, the same as I did. Not sure what his yellow flags would have been, but he got a 5-second penalty for ignoring them nonetheless. Valtteri's going to let me through as well. Sargent's having to let Valtteri through, and then they'll both have to let me through. So Sargent is 2 laps down now in P13. Or was that for position? That might have been for position, you know. It was. Sargent isn't 2 laps down. He's in P13, having the best race of his career.
Okay, you're in the dirty air of the car in front. Let's get past them.
That's what I'm going to try and do, Mark. That's what I'm going to try and do. Right friggin' now. All the way around the outside of him. Now Lewis has a 5-second penalty as well, so he'll join me back here behind Piastri come the end of the race if I can't overtake Piastri and then get 5 seconds on him, which I don't think is going to happen. We may well end up with the P8 we were going to get anyway. Let me overtake Piastri. With me and Lewis both have 5 seconds penalties. You will... Oh my god, he's not even going defensive. He's just straight up on it. You'll earn yourself 2 positions if you just let me overtake you. And I'll drag you back to Lewis, mate. Come on, let's work together. So it turns out the potential... Oh, maybe I could have got a podium if I wasn't stuck behind the safety car. Yeah, that was a little bit too hopeful, evidently. Even if, regardless of pens, etc. We didn't have the pace to finish any higher than P8 today. Well, to be fair, I probably would have finished P7 where I am now. Because I've got the pace on Piastri. If it had let me through, like it should have done. With everybody else, and Bottas may well have gotten himself some points as well. But it is what it is. I'm going to try and open up a 5-second gap over Piastri now in the next 3 laps, but I highly doubt that that's going to be possible. It's going to have to be Lando Norris-esque to try and maintain a P7, but I do think it's going to be P8 for us. So as we start our final lap, it somehow is actually a Red Bull 1-2 right now at the front. Charles Leclerc obviously retired, but Sergio Perez started a long way back and somehow has clawed himself back to P2. Which is remarkable. Hell of a comeback from Sergio Perez. It will then be Carlos Sainz on the podium unless round the final sector, something crazy happens with George Russell behind him, but I don't think it's going to. Norris P5, Lewis will finish P6. I will finish P8 behind Piastri as my penalty will push me back a position. But P8 is where we would have finished without the safety car. P8 is where we would have finished, or P7 or 8 is where we would have finished if the safety car had let lapped cars overtake, which obviously it should do but doesn't in game. And my luck has been so muddied of late. I have no guilt whatsoever by overtaking the safety car and Max Verstappen, taking this 5-second penalty and taking myself some more points. The title will be, yeah, spoilers, it happened, points, plural. 1 point in the sprint race, 4 points in the full Grand Prix. Piastri gets a driver of the day for his P7, and I don't know if Valtteri got points there or not. He may have done with Charles Leclerc's retirement. So let's see what effect this he didn't. Bottas P14 in the end. Actually, no, that's just for the weekend. Well, it must have been because he's got 0. Bottas P12 in the end. Lewis P6. Me P8. 4 points. 5 for the weekend. I'll bloody take it, thank you. Very much so. Feel like I deserve that. So up next for us is the British Grand Prix, my home race for us as a driver, but as us as a team, of course, it's anything in Italy. We've already done Imola. So as the contract expires on Monday the 10th, so my contract doesn't expire until after the British Grand Prix, so I can record another episode before you guys have your vote. I wonder... I want to do the ERS. Having a good ERS is absolutely crucial in career mode, and I'm desperate to have that. It won't let me upgrade the drag reduction anymore, which is what I'm desperate to do, but I'm hoping once this wing mirror's flipping it passes, we'll be able to do it. But it failed, because of course it did, because everything else in this bloody car fails, doesn't it? So we'll redo that. I don't need to do fuel efficiency. I don't really need to do anything on the durability as well, because let's be honest, we're not going to be at the car that long. Not going to be at the car, not going to be in this car that long, at this team that long. But we're back above Haas now, who have significantly dropped as we progress to Silverstone, which we will do now. I'll skip in advance. We don't care about that anymore. So let's go to the race weekend and let's see what the weather is going to be like at Silverstone for this next Grand Prix. But yes, we have points on the board as a driver in this career mode. But it's interchangeable conditions again. We start dry, we end wet at Silverstone, and the twists continue in this save. In what may be my final race for Alfa Romeo, but judging by what the Twitch chat has done so far, and I imagine the majority of YouTube will vote the same way, although you may not, it probably isn't going to be my last race at Alfa Romeo, but at this point in time, who knows? So, in the R&D, wow, everybody's just left AlphaTauri behind. Ourselves and Haas have stayed level. In fact, we've increased a teeny bit. And then Alpine and Williams have just shot up. So there's the top 5 and the bottom 5. With Red Bull just above and AlphaTauri, unfortunately for them, a little bit further back. I am now in the driver's standings up to P14. Alfa Romeo have 16 points and are taking the fight to Alpine. Ocon with 11 points, Gasly with 8, me with 5, and hopefully more points to come, maybe in my home Grand Prix. But let me address my car parts for practice whilst I ask you guys to drop the video a like if you've enjoyed this episode. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you won't miss out on any more as time goes by throughout the course of the rest of the year. But that is going to be all from me for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sure you understand the decision we made there to take the penalty, and I'm sure you'll have your vote on the straw poll as well. Link will be in the description. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one very soon. Football Manager's on the way. FC24 My Player's on the way. Chelsea's still going up on the main channel. There's plenty of content for you everywhere, including Twitch, where it's all recorded live. I'll see you next time.